Folks, welcome back. Today, my name is Rudy. You're watching the YouTube channel called Alpha Investments. We have another exciting update in the world of Magic the Yu-Gi-Oh! Gathering. Or is anybody gathering? Or is it just Magic the Poke Bro investing? Crypto meme coin scam? What are we doing? Something? Who cares? Okay, who cares? So today, I'm going to address a couple of Q&As from patrons and you guys saying, Rudy, can you talk about some of these weird anomalies in the Magic market? Sure, why not? So we're going to start the video off. We're going to start the video off with my good little buddy right here. You smell that? As of the filming of this video, Innistrad Crimson Vow collector boxes are back up to around $200 a box. That really isn't the point of the video. The point of the video is, do I even have one? I don't think I even have one. Innistrad Crimson Vow set boxes are $230 plus tax. Let me say that one more time for the slow, special people in the back that are related to me. Crimson Vow set boxes are almost $250 shipped. Crimson Vow draft boxes are almost $100 shipped. The collector box is inverted to the set box. So, the questions that you all and patrons have been asking me is, Rudy, how on earth can a collector box be cheaper than the mass-produced draft or set box? And this gets into a simple iceberg conversation where the conversation feels simple on top, but it's actually pretty complicated. For those of you who are dumb like me, let me talk slower. When you have a set box that's more expensive than the collector, you obviously have different supply numbers on the market, and you have different types of buyers. The set box for Crimson Vow is more expensive because, well, I'll be honest with you all, the set and draft boxes of Crimson Vow are actually more enjoyable to draft and play with, and the set boxes have more value because of the list slot and the engineering of the product, even though it's only 30 packs and the draft is 36. Well, this product was the most damaged, destroyed, toxic asset of the 2022 bear market when Cynthia Philip Morris Funko Pop bankrupt all your companies, hiring this idiot, was in charge of Wizards and absolutely annihilated the Hasbro Wizards of the Coast brand. And, well, Crimson Vow was in the middle of that awful era. And Crimson Vow collector boxes hit an all-time low when Cynthia-led Wizards of the Coast dumped excess inventory in 2022-2023 of that box down to $70, $80 for a collector box. Now, I wish I could buy thousands at that price, but they limited it to like 3 boxes, then limited to 1, and you couldn't buy, even if I wanted to, I couldn't buy pallets of whatever they had left. Obviously, that era is long gone, and, well, this $70, $80 box has over doubled and gone all the way back up to just under $200. Now, because of that, collectors still prefer, well, the collector box, but the people who are buying Crimson Vow and actually push the price up were buying draft and set. Because draft boxes are almost, actually, I think they are 100. Maybe when you watch this video, they're over 100. Anyways, the point is, Rudy, what is your opinion? My opinion is, well, there's only 2 possible outcomes. This is underpriced, or the set box is overpriced. That's it. Those are the only 2 possible situations, because you can't have a set box at $250 and a collector box at $199. That doesn't make any sense. So, my opinion, I think the set box is overpriced, and I think the collector box is underpriced. Now, because of the toxic dumping that the old management did, that's why we're seeing that with this particular problem, with this particular product that looks so extremely like WTF. Now, the market will recalibrate, reprice, and it will move ahead and stabilize. I do not. Now, again, I will be honest with you all. I have heavy bags in Crimson Vow. I have the draft boxes and the collector. I don't think I have set. Maybe I have a case or 2. So my opinion, and I hold 1,500 boxes of this. So I'll be straight up with you guys. Heavy lift nutsack Rudy here. I have a lot of skin in the game, but again, that's every product. I don't know if that surprises anybody. If you're surprised, you must be new here, or you can't find your left nut. Well, either way, you need some help, bro. So my opinion, yes, I do not think that collector box at 200 and the set box at 250 is sustainable. I think the set box should be, in my opinion, 200 max, and I think the collector box should be 250 to 300. Now, I know this is not really fitting the narrative, but in my personal opinion, I do not think this box can make it to 1,000. Now, when we talk about the collector boxes making moves, all the Pokemon money, Poke Bros, all the crypto money, and everything flowing into Magic, it's a real thing. Final Fantasy was tipping point. Everybody knows. We're not going to beat the dead horse. Everybody knows this. If you need me to talk about why this is happening, dude, you're like 6 months too late. Where have you been the last 2 years when the market started roaring? Like, if you're just showing up now, asking, like, what do I do? You just missed 2 years of the greatest market in modern cardboard history. So if you don't have heavy bags, or you were bearish, I mean, you missed probably the largest generational move in this industry we may ever see in my lifetime. So, welcome. You must be new here. Or you're not new, and you've just been too busy living your life being negative and attacking everything, because that's just what social media wants you to do, is to own nothing, be miserable, and hate everybody else. You do you. So my opinion, usually I'm very bullish. Assassin's Creed, Brothers War, Phyrexia, March of the Machine, Ixalan, Wilds of Eldraine, Fallout, Final Fantasy, Assassin's Creed, Doctor Who, etc., etc. In my opinion, Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow Collectors, seeing those back to about 200, it is a bittersweet thing, because like we talked about in the other video, we did the pinball room filming location, it was a very celebratory moment when the market finally undid all the losses after years of pain and suffering. And as with most things in our human little puny lives and society, I think the saddest part is when these things happen, people just miss out. That's always been the most frustrating thing in this industry, because when these markets recalibrate and the wealth and the price appreciation and all this stuff happens, the majority of the public always misses out. No matter how many videos you watch, I make, we talk about, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing with Pokemon and the Sword and Shield, the Scarlet Violet. You know, in all the years I've been doing this, there are certain things that are consistent and reliable. And that is, human behavior is predictable. It will happen again. It will not change. And humans are going to human. That is just how it is. Now, my opinion, to see this at 200, it feels good. But it's tough to enjoy for someone like me. Because I still look at this product, and I'm going to be very straightforward with you guys. When this product came out, I was a really big fan of the theme of I thought it was a very cool end of the year Halloween, wedding vampire, really cool. I really was excited for Crimson Vow. And it came out, and Wizards overprinted it. And not only did they overprint it, the market rejected it. The market wasn't happy with the theme, the power level, the engineering, the mechanics of the set. The market then turned negative across the board into a bear market, and of course Wizards overprinted it. So you had the perfect trifecta storm of every single category lining up into a black swan of shit in a perfect moment, in a perfect storm. So no matter what, it's nice to see this back to 200 a box. I think I have like 1,600 boxes. So you can, whatever $200 a box times 1,600 boxes is, I mean, it's nice. I mean, I'm not really making much money because, again, at the time, this was pre-price increasing of Wizards. I still remember buying these from distribution at release for, I think it was like $175 a box. So it's nice to be like, hey, after years of tying up capital and making no money, it's nice to kind of be back to break even, I guess you could say. But before we move on to the next question from you all, I just think it's important to understand that usually I tell you guys about, the new box to go to a 1K. Bloomborough is going to be $1,000 box. Fallout's going to be a $2,000 collector box. Final Fantasy, I told you guys, is going to be a $2,000-$3,000 collector box. Lord of the Rings Holiday is going to be $3,000 to $5,000. I'm sorry, but I don't think Crimson Vow can actually make a same run. Even with my heavy bags, the history of this product, the toxic nature of the past, price memory of old farts like me with one testicle, which I really have 3. I just keep a spare one. You know why I do it. You know why. And it's just, the sad reality is, this is probably a $300-$400 box max. Now again, if you bought it today, right now, you can pause the video, you can buy online from any LGS in the country, support all the stores on TCG Play or eBay, and even at $200, even at $250, you probably do have meat on the bone. You probably can still make money in a nice diversified portfolio of everything else, but just understand, I do not think this box can run to $1,000. I think the absolute cap with this is a $500 box, and I think that will take a much more time to even get there. But you have to understand, this market, it's very different now. If you buy this today for $200 from a store, your downside risk is extraordinarily low. If you present to me an investment opportunity and I have to buy in at $200 a share, and I say, well, what's the worst case scenario? Well, it could drop back to $170, $160 a box. So my worst case scenario is like a 10, 15, 20% loss. Well, what's the best case scenario, Rudy? I think it can go to 300, 400, 500 in a perfect storm. So wait a minute. The most I could lose is 20%? And the most I can make is 200%? When I view risk in capital deployment situations, in upside downside, that's what I look at. So to me, conclusion, I do think Crimson Vow is very attractive. But it is important for you all to understand, this is not a product that is going to go to the moon. Even as much as I'd like to tell you all with my heavy bags and everything, this is one of the ball sacks that is going to be a little. It doesn't have the girth and the strength that some of the other collector boxes do. All right, we got that out of the way. I also, I know this is I would use caution on the Crimson Vow set boxes at $250. That is something I'm going to just straight up tell you guys. I do not recommend buying Crimson Vow set boxes on the open market for $225 plus tax. Hands down, full stop. Timmy 5000, Scalper Scanner 4900. I do not recommend that at all. There's no exceptions. It's similar, like we had the Wildsville Drain set boxes skyrocket to 200, 210, and then Wizards reprint it. Which actually, if you're watching this video, I'm about to have a Wildsville Drain set box sale to patrons. So it may have already happened. I don't know. It depends when this video goes live. And I'm going to sell some Wildsville Drain set boxes for $144 with all taxes, shipping, fees, PayPal, everything to your door. And see that, my honest opinion, $144 for Wild set, that is way more attractive than Crimson Vow set. Everybody loves Wildsville Drain. It is a confirmed fan favorite. Wilds collector boxes are going to be $1,000 to $2,000 a box. The draft boxes, I think, are almost $200, aren't they? And those are fully out of print. The set boxes are not fully out of print. And even then, Wildsville Drain set boxes, anything under $150, $160, hell, actually even $155, $160. These will make their way back up to $200 plus for Wild set. And I think that's way more attractive than a $250 Crimson Vow set, which has a toxic past and doesn't have the flavor, doesn't have the love and the fan favorite. So that's how I view things. You have to compare and contrast based on different price levels and points. You have to look at the collector box compared to the player set. And again, let's pick on Wildsville Drain again. The Wildsville Drain collector boxes, I think they're like $800-$900 right now. They're going to be $1,000. Honestly, even at $1,000, I don't have any for sale. Don't ask. But I still think that's still attractive. You're going to buy from an LGS or TCG player because these things can easily go to $1,200 to $1,500. And again, that reinforces if the collector box of Wildsville Drain is $1,100 in Christmas time, I mean, buy the Wildsville Drain set for $150, $175, even $200. If the collector box is over $1,000, if the draft box is out of print pushing $200, like if you need exposure and for some reason you weren't around the last 4 years because you're stupid, that would be my suggestion to you guys. If you have deep pockets, obviously collector boxes are going to be best in breed, but they are very expensive. And I'm not going to bullshit you guys. a big chunk of the easy money's been made. And as collector boxes continue to rise, the risk reward kind of prospectus, that teeter-totter is not going to be as shoo-in easy. Like Wilds of Eldraine today at 800 is still great. It is long gone, long out of print, and we know those things are going to run to over 1,000. So you have good kind of meat on the bone if you're buying those in your local LGS. But I mean, the downside risk for something like Wilds Collector, even Crimson Vow Collector. I mean, these collector boxes with the, it's just so funny that, let me give you guys a tangent here, a Rudy rant. For about 3 years of the last 6 years on YouTube, remember I've been on YouTube for 10.1 years, but for 3 of the last 6 years, it was difficult for me to make videos about collector boxes in general because the internet would just, throw the Rudy shilling and anger heavy bet. People, I couldn't have real conversations about collector boxes to the public for a long time. The comment sections, the attitude, like seriously, like if you want my advice, like not advice, if you want to learn, like I know this channel has like 4,000 YouTube videos from the last 10 years now, so it's kind of tough, but you should seriously like go on YouTube, run a search for like Wilds of Eldraine Alpha Investments, and look for videos on this channel that are between 2 and 3 years old, talking about before release and during release, the bear market. Like, look at the history of this stuff. You'll see videos when I talk about running a sale to patrons, a clearance sale for Wilds of Eldraine collectors for $179, $189. And if you look at the comments and study the human behavior of the general public in social media, the Discords, the Reddits, the Facebooks, the Ashley Madisons, the OnlyFans, and you look at everybody's attitude, that's where you can learn a lot of really important life lessons about thinking for yourself versus the groupthink stupid mode. And it's, again, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's very bittersweet after all this time to see what the markets are doing and what they can do, and the absolute strength and the absolute insanity of some of these things. And, I guess that'll take me to the second part of this video, and then I'll probably end it here because I don't really want to make an hour-long video. The second part of this video is the bull market, the crash, the bear market conversation. The number one thing that you all and patrons send me messages on is not asking about Spider-Man or Avatar or new Pokemon or the new One Piece or the new Sorcery Gothic, the new Flesh and Blood, the new Weiss. Yes, I'm aware of Weiss Azure Lane 2. I know everybody's going crazy. I'm aware for the first time ever Weiss is allocating Azure Lane 2. But I'm aware of everything. But you know what the number one thing people are asking me are? It's the concern about the bubble, the tulip mania, the big crash, the '08 crash 2.0, and the absolute attitude of everybody saying, Rudy, this market's insane. I have to back off. I'm not comfortable. This is going to be the greatest bubble, the greatest crash of all this. That is the number one thing I get patron messages on with you guys that I have conversations about. And the answer to you all is not going to be what you want to hear. In my opinion, this market should stop going up. In my opinion, this market should literally do what real estate's been doing, which is it stops going up and just goes straight kangaroo market sideways for 1 to 5 years. If you want my opinion, the market should stop appreciating in value for a minimum of 1 year and a maximum of 5 years to recalibrate, cool off, and stop being insane. That is the honest reality of what I think. Because again, if the prices go higher, I get less product, we all pay more for it. If the prices, if I can get a ton more product, well, I can sell more. Instead of offering patrons 1 box, I can offer 2, 3, or 6. So I move more quantity at a lower price, I make the same amount of money. So it doesn't make a difference for someone in my situation whether or not prices skyrocket or they go lower and I can get double or triple the allocation. My bottom line, and there's really not, the variance is so minimal, it doesn't really impact my particular situation. Now, obviously, a lot of other people are different because when you have a crashing market, a bull market, a bear market, a flat market, each market condition comes with a separate set of problems that the average person is too uneducated to understand. And yes, there is a chunk of people watching this channel, MSR Penis Gang, prices are too high. Rudy, will you sell Crimson Vow at MSRP? Are you going to sell Spider-Man collectors at $500 or $600 MSRP, Rudy? Right? That's the right thing to do. And where were you when I was trying to sell all these at MSRP? I guess that email must have got lost in the mail, right? It's every market style has its own double-edged knife, and it's met with different type of aggression and emotion from the public. Now, the biggest things that obviously concern me in this market are everybody is opening a store. Everybody wants to open a business in an LGS. When I talk to distribution, they talk about the insanity of people filling out paperwork and applications to open a new card store. They said they've never seen anything like this in the last 12 months. Every day, they just get applications and paperwork for new card stores, blowing up the email address. And like in 2022 or 2023, I remember one of the high ups at one of the distributors telling me, Rudy, we would maybe get, ready for this? One application for a new account per day nationwide. And there were times we went multiple days without even one new application to open a store and do a business in cards. Isn't that funny sounding? Isn't that funny? Because in 2025, it doesn't even sound real. Welcome to just being alive and being a human, right? And so back to the question about Rudy, are we going to have a crash? Is it a bubble? It's not a bubble, everybody. I'm sorry. I know you all want me to say sell everything, buy all my heavy bags. I'm sorry, it's not a bubble. If I thought this was a bubble, I would be unloading all of my products. Man, I'm not doing that. If I thought this was a bubble, I'd be unloading everything. And I'm not. And even if you're a patron, September, next month, because I told you all, this is the calm before the storm. I've warned everybody. Next month, understand what's coming, folks. Patrons, we have the new Flesh and Blood set. We have Marvel Spider-Man. We have the new era of Pokemon starting. We have all the big boys releasing massive fucking items within days of each other. And in Magic, I'm selling collector boxes, play boxes. I don't think Spider-Man has commander decks. Gift bundles or bundles. I don't know if those are, with it. Pokemon, I'm supposed to be getting ETBs. I'm supposed to be getting booster boxes, but now I'm hearing rumors that they're splitting the print run from Wave 1, Wave 2. So I don't know if I'm going to have to hold off and wait for Wave 2 3 weeks later and just do one big sale. I don't know yet. But I'm telling you this because the market is craving and obsessed and counting the days down for these. And again, the public is angry because cards are expensive. And the public is saying the same thing to me every day. And that is, Rudy, I love your videos. I love the conversations. Thanks, man. And the problem is this market's too expensive. I can't buy anything. Everything sells out. It's difficult. I'm going to have to back away from cards. I get it. I don't fault you for that at all. But then the last comment on those messages is always the same. Once the market levels out, if things go back to normal, or if we can get a pullback in prices, man, there are so many things I want to buy, Rudy. And right there, that's the exact reason why I don't think we're in a bubble. On Wall Street, a bubble is defined by literally exorbitant, what did Alan Greenspan say? exuberance or something. In other words, just euphoric greed. And we are seeing crazy greed, but we're seeing in cards. Yes, we have Poke Bros and we have Crypto Bros and Magic. No one's arguing that. But the thing is, everybody is begging for product. And to see Final Fantasy play boxes selling every single day on the open market right now for $230 to $250 and nobody's batting an eye, that's not a bubble. That's just people want the product. And everybody's begging for more product, and it's not a bubble. Even if I don't have the product to sell you guys, it doesn't fit the definition of a bubble where if Crimson Vow collector boxes went to $1,500 a box, I would tell you all straight up, that's a bubble. Because that should not be $1,500 a box. Now, Rudy, what about Final Fantasy at $1,500 a box? I told everybody at release, I told all the patrons who cussed me out and closed their accounts when I was selling Final Fantasy collectors for $7.39, and I pay your PayPal and shipping and everything to your door. I told everybody, you can be emotional, you can be angry, you can say F this, it's a ripoff, it's a scam, but these boxes are going to be over $1,000, and they are going to go to $2,000 plus a box. If you're unhappy that I'm selling Final Fantasy, or I was, I'm not anymore, they're gone. If you're unhappy that I sold Final Fantasy for $7.39 because you felt it should have been $6.39, then don't buy the product and wait. But you have to remove how you and I feel and look at the data. It's like Wall Street. Rudy, if Nvidia stock ever comes down, I'd love to buy it. I love it, but the price is, I missed the run. Okay. Rudy, if Amazon stock ever drops 40-50%, I'm going to buy it all. Okay. But these are monstrous companies that are making billions of dollars in profit. Now, I don't know what the PE ratio is. I don't know what the growth rate. I don't know if it's above average, it's average, below. I don't know if it's crazy with Forder. I don't know because I don't take the time to pretty much obsess over it. I can just tell you these are highly profitable, best of breed companies in the world. Everybody wants them. And they're powerhouses. And any form of pullback, even if it's a day, a week, a month, or a year, is going to be met with buying. That doesn't fit the definition of a bubble. It could make the market frothy or bubbly, and you don't agree with the price. Maybe you think Amazon and Nvidia should be 10-20% lower. That's not a crash. If something goes up 50, 100, 2, 3, 400%, and it pulls back some, that's not a crash. If Crimson Vow, because I'm making this video, is $199 and it drops to $185 and everyone goes, oh, I knew Rudy was doing like a $15 swing, or what is that, 5%, isn't a crash. That's market normal movement. And I just hate to tell you all, but we're not in a bubble. And I kind of wish we were in a bubble, because when bubbles pop, those are the best moments for me to play in the playground. And we're not. And Pokemon is a little scarier because of how fast it keeps going up. But the show keeps going on. Folks, we're a couple months away from 2026. Do you realize that? We are a couple months from 2026. I'm losing my voice from yelling so much. Do you really think in 2026 they're going to go back and reprint Scarlet Violet base? They're going to reprint Mr. P at SVO2? You think in 2026 Pokemon's like, you know what? We need more Sword and Shield boxes. Even though it's out of rotation, we don't care. You know what? Evolving Skies, we should reprint it for the 5th time. It's just... They have so many new things that need to be reprinted. They're not going to put everything on hold to go back in time and destroy their own IP and credibility. Doesn't work that way. Rudy, Wizards secretly can reprint all the collector boxes. They are not going to reprint the collector boxes. They're old. Okay? They're over with. Wizards can't even barely print the last 5 sets that sold out. And they've told us all they're going to reprint everything, and they can't even get to that. And people are so dumb, they think, Rudy, I don't think I can buy Obsidian Flames or Paradox Rift, SVO2, 3, 4, all these sets. They're going to get annihilated on the reprint. The fuck are you talking about? Like, I just got notified I'm getting a pallet of a Pokemon reprint a week ago. I don't remember what it was. Temporal, Twilight, something. And ETBs, not booster boxes. And I was like, wow, this is great news. And then it's like, well, by the way, Rudy, if you want this quantity, your ETB price for not even, this isn't even prismatic. This is like Twilight Masquerade in like, I don't know, Temporal or something. I was like, well, how much is the ETB price? Well, Rudy, if you take this quantity, it's $70 in ETB. Well, if you get this larger one, it's $65 in ETB. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. And that's what I'm telling you. The way this is unfolding, there's no way for things to reverse. Because any reprint that comes to market, they move the bar to make sure nothing can recalibrate. The closest things we've had is, of course, Pokemon sidestepping distribution to slam it at MSRP to go to what? Costco, Sam's Clubs, BJ's, you know? And yeah, boy, that's really tanked Prismatic Evolutions. They just did the biggest reprint ever with tons of it for Sam's, Costco, and look, TCG Player. ETBs, $110. Or $105 plus tax, what, $112 shipped? Yeah. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, they're reprinting the shit out of this, and the price in the market is so powerful, it's not even moving. So what's going to happen in 12 months from now when Pokemon's 4 or 5 new sets into the ME era, and everyone's still going, oh yeah, Prismatic Evolution. It's like, bro, dude, I'm going to hit you all with dude darts. Dude. Like, dude. Like, 151, Prismatic, Mr. P, all this shit, they have tried. They're still trying to knock Prismatic down. And they're throwing everything they got at it. Rudy's hair, the baby in the bathwater, taco franchise, every waffle fry at every Chick-fil-A. And they can't get the prices to break. And I'm like, this time next year, Prismatic is gone. There is nothing. And what's going to happen? You're talking to a guy with probably the largest position of Pokemon celebrations in 25th anniversary. You're talking to a guy who's all the Sword and Shield era. And I'm looking at this stuff and I'm going, folks, you don't get it. It's not a bubble. I wish it was. This is one of those videos where I wish I was proven. I hope this video ages like milk. I hope people make fun of me from this video in the future because everything crashes and tanks 50, 70, 80, 90. I hope the market crashes and people use this video of Rudy saying it's not a bubble because I truly would like things to level out. Because I told you all before, my business model is not functioning the way I'd like because of the market conditions. I can't be greedy Rudy, scalper scanner 5000. I can't hoard as much heavy bags. I can't do the things I like to play in my playground in markets that are this crazy. That's the reality. And I would like things to go back to normal, but the reality is this doesn't fit the definition of a bubble. And I mean, maybe we can force a crash or a pullback one day. We would need the S&P and the NASDAQ to drop at least 20, 30, 40% to really smash the market. We need Bitcoin and Ethereum to drop 30, 40, 50% to really ice the market and crash the market. And you know what the problem is with everything I just said? If that actually comes true, you know what the Federal Reserve and the government's going to do? Ring, ring. You still got that money machine in the basement? Well, yes, we do, sir. Fire the money machine up. It's time to go burr. and they're going to fucking slam interest rates back down. They're going to print money into oblivion, and then they're going to dump fuel, and they're going to flare up the economy. And then the market's going to pull out of the crash, and we'll be back to the same place we are in 10 years from now. The only difference is I'll be even older, and I'll sound like even more of a Rudy rant. And that's why this industry is not going anywhere. And that's why I don't see a large speculative bubble. I see a lot of stupid people flipping and doing quick tendies, and that's inflating prices quicker and more than they should be. But I don't think it's a bubble. You know, and that's the reality of it. I mean, even I have to admit, these print runs for Spider-Man, and I'm hoping Avatar is better, but these print runs for collector boxes, play boxes, it's mind-blowing, folks. I mean, I guess before I end this video, there's a couple things I did not get to in this video. I know it's long, so most people aren't watching this late. But like I told you guys with patrons next month, we've got so much crazy shit coming. I know I already run, 15, 20 special sales to you guys a month. And of course, you guys can buy your cheap play boxes of, Duskmorn and Thunder Junction and Karlov and Aether and all that. That's already available to you guys anytime you want. But be aware, I didn't get to some other topics like Weiss and Sorcery and Flesh and Blood and One Piece or anything in this video, but I have noticed a couple things in the last probably 2 weeks. Number one, Sorcery in specific, ever since the Dragon Lord and the Gothic spoiler started, there's been a substantially noticeable conversation and questioning and excitement surrounding Sorcery again. I haven't seen this in many months, but there's been a distinctive attitude shift from negative and making fun of and bashing Sorcery to people talking about Sorcery, asking me about this big Gothic launch coming up, and I've noticed an uptick in Arthurian Legends, the amount of boxes left on the market. Arthurian Legends bottomed out at like $78 to $80 a box, and we're seeing those back to $90 a box on TCG Player, and there's barely any boxes before it hits over $100 a box, and we're actually getting some sell-through on eBay and TCG Player. I'm seeing a noticeable attitude and behavior shift to Sorcery, which I haven't talked about yet. Flesh and Blood continues to have substantial growth and success outside the United States. Like it's impressive. It is what it is. Like, holy cow, man. That's going on. And, I haven't even done box opening videos for anything. So, Weiss, a lot of people had a lot of conversations with me about Weiss with all these Union Arenas, the HoloLive, the Godzillas, with One Piece, Star Wars, Lorcan, and everything. And Weiss has been holding up very, very well and better than everybody thought. I haven't made videos on. We need to probably have a deep dive in Weiss, because I still don't think people understand how big Weiss Schwartz is. Like in Japan and other countries, like you guys know, you hit top 10 card games in Japan. Like, you guys know things like Pokemon and Weiss are more successful and bigger than Magic the Gathering. Like, I've seen these reports, and I'm like, no way. Like, it's tough for me to believe it, but different parts of the world, like, it's tough for some people to understand this stuff because around you or around your local store, you may get a different vibe, but that vibe may not represent the world or a larger sample size. So it can be very mentally confusing. So, but to end the conversation on Weiss there, I've noticed there's a lot of Weiss sets that are they're just disappearing, man. Like, I've been tracking Weiss sets, every week for years. I think 6-7 years now. In the last 3 months, the amount of Weiss products of some of these sets, I think what's happened is some of these sets got so overprinted and dumped. A lot of stores opened them up and just sold singles, and the sealed product of so many sets are just disappearing. Like, go on TCG Player, hit sealed Weiss Schwartz, sort by most expensive, and start clicking on some of the sets, and look at the supply of some of these things. So, different video. Same thing with One Piece. I continue to be blown away with the success of One Piece. It's been truly impressive. Bandai, I was wrong about you. Fucking congratulations. I mean, well played. Good job. And it's same thing. You know, I know people are going to make fun of me. I still remain negative and cautious on Lorcana and Star Wars Unlimited. I know people have been making fun of me on Star Wars in Lorcana for a couple years now because of how well it's done, and I've been wrong. But I do not carry Star Wars, and I do not carry Lorcana, and I'm still extremely skeptical of management and the direction of the product long term, with print runs and pretty much not screwing up and milking it to the ground. So thanks for watching, folks. I feel I've been rambling long enough. What a time to be alive. The summary of this video, if you guys sat this long, is a couple things. Summary number 1, if you're a patron next month, buckle up, Buttercup. Spider-Man's, Flesh and Bloods, Pokemon's, I think by then the second wave of One Piece, OP12. I mean, just tons of crap. October, if you're a patron, Jesus, man. The Massive Sorcery Gothic. I believe we have Azure Lane 2 for Weiss. Oh, God, that's going to be a mess. I mean, it is going to be monstrous. So, forewarning you guys, it is going to be mega crazy. And because the new play boxes are still pretty much impossible to get for anyone in the United States, I will continue to offer older, out-of-print Magic draft boxes on the $118 patron list, so to give you guys more choices to buy throughout the month, to give you guys just kind of some things to hold on to until we get these reprints later this year. So, other than that, folks, hope you'll have a beautiful day out there. Thank you for watching. As always, thanks for watching the videos. This whole channel is pretty much here because you guys watch my videos. You guys talk to me on Patreon, and we have a lot of fun with the sales and watching all the Timmies and the silliness. And that's it. You guys, I don't have outside sponsors. I don't have anything crazy. And I think that's everything. What did I miss? By the time you watch this, I think the PremierCardGrading.com sale is still going on. If you scroll below is the top comment. I'm giving away free boxes of Final Fantasy Play and free boxes of Scarlet Violet SVO4 Paradox Rift. Literally, you grade 30 cards at $19.95 a card. And not only do you get your slabs and subgrades and metal laser engraved cards back, but you get free sealed product. So I think that sale is still going on. We're leaving it until pretty much I run out of boxes of Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So that should still be going on. But maybe another week or two at the most. And then we're going to cut it off because, well, we don't make any money doing that. It's just mostly to get you guys to try it. And, well, I can't get more Final Fantasy play boxes. And I can't get, if you use the Weiss code below, I can't get more Nikki boxes. And yeah, it's kind of a thing. So have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, these videos are to help you and me think things through, figure out this complicated world we live in, and to help educate everybody. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Penis?